Johnny here, and welcome to another episode of the 3C Show. And as always, I am super pumped to be here. Today it is raining. We are in the car, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll make the best of it. I want to talk to you about a super important topic for your photography journey. It's about setting your photo goals, okay? We're in a new year, and yeah, I know it sounds corny because new year, new goals, but we'll get into why the reasons are so important to have photography goals and how it's going to absolutely help you smash through your photography journey and learning photography. All right, but before we do that, coffee me, yo, I need a coffee. Managed to get outside, the rain stopped, we've got the coffee, so we're all set to go. Let's talk about your photography goals and why they are so important. The number one reason you should set some photography goals is to stop frustration, stop being overwhelmed. If you're learning landscape and nature photography or anything, actually, if you're trying to learn anything, if you try and get every little part and put it together and you watch a little video over here and you take a course over there and you do this thing here, all of a sudden, what happens is you just don't know which way to turn. Don't know whether to go left, don't know whether to go right, don't know whether to go up, don't know whether to go down. It's just totally confusing. You know, for instance, you're out in the field and you watch one of my videos and Johnny says, get low with your wide angle lens and then focus a third in and then use this setting and then do that. And it all becomes too much. You know, you get out in the scene and you've forgotten the reason why you've taken up photography. And the reason is it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyable. It's meant to get you out in nature. So that is my number one reason why photography goals are so important. It's to stop being overwhelmed. It's to stop being frustrated. And when you start feeling those things, you start feeling negative. It kills your creativity, okay? Photography should be fun. And if you're setting your goals, it's targeting what you should be learning rather than taking in all this information and feeling frustrated and negative. You want to feel positive about your photography. It's super, super important. So how do we go about, setting our photography goals? It's super important to make sure they're streamlined. One thing you don't want to do is set a goal like, I just want to go and take better photos, okay? Because that's not going to help you target what you should be learning about and what you should be concentrating on with your photography, okay? You want to make things super streamlined, like, you've got a new macro lens. I want to be able to control my depth of field. I want to make sure everything in my macro photographs is sharp, okay? Or you've got a long telephoto lens. I want to master my telephoto lens. I want to be able to take those blurry background photos you see of birds and wildlife. Or your wide angle lens. I want to be able to get out with my wide angle lens. I want to be able to master my composition because it includes everything. I want to try and get that lovely foreground, midground, and something that complements the background in my compositions, okay? That's a photography goal. And I recommend you set no more than 3 of those, okay? 3 of those, and you don't put a time limit on it. That means that these are your photography goals on your journey for as long as it takes you to achieve them, okay? You might be someone who's got a month off work and you smash out 2 of them and that's all good. Or you might be someone else who gets to 2022 and they've done 2 of their goals and haven't done the 3rd one, okay? And that's totally fine. Everyone is on their own photography journey, okay? That's super important to understand that and realize that, because if you're out there comparing your photos to other people's photos, comparing your photos to other people in your community or camera club or whatever you're part of, that's going to put negativity on you. It's going to make things feel negative about your photography, okay? And it's going to push away your creativity because you're going to go out there and you're going to put pressure on yourself. I have to go out. I have to create. I have to do this. And if you're doing that, that's negative. And you want your photography to be positive. And the way to get pure in that creative flow state is to find positivity, okay? And the starting step to do that is to have focus on the things that you want to get better at, okay? And by doing that, by setting your photography goals, that's what we're doing. So when do you know that you've achieved your photography goals, okay? And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, I just look at my photos and if this one's better than one I took previously, then I know I'm getting better, right? Well, that's sort of true. It's sort of true, but not. Because you imagine if you went 3 months or 6 months, or depending on the season, you've gone a fair while and you haven't had a cracking sunrise or sunset, and all of a sudden you go out and you absolutely nail your composition this day, you get an amazing sunset, sunrise, and boom, there it is. Well, I must be getting better at my photography, right? I must be achieving my goals of shooting with a wide angle lens or whatever I set myself. Well, it's a guide, but it's not the only way. To me, the real way of knowing that you're getting better in your photography is when you get out in the field and you're not thinking about what has to happen. It's just happening automatically. It's just flowing, okay? So I'll get to a scene and I look at it and I go, yes, there's my main subject. I'm gonna need my wide angle lens today, and I know I need everything in focus. So I'm gonna use between f8 and f16 because that'll help me get the depth of field I need. And when those things start to flow in that way, that's how you know you've achieved a goal. Like I mentioned earlier, one of your goals might be, I'm going to get everything tack sharp in my images with my macro. Well, maybe you taught yourself focus stacking. Maybe focus stacking is the way you've achieved that, okay? I mean, yes, go back through, have a look at your photographs you've been taking, see if they are getting better. I mean, that's always a guide, but it's not the only way, and it's not the most important way, okay? If things are just flowing when you're in the field and you're just creating and having fun with your photography, and whatever you're focusing in on, that goal, if that's just happening like almost automatically with your photography, then you know you've achieved it, okay? So it's super important. So that's it. Let's just quickly recap a couple of things, So I'm saying it's important to have your photography goals to target your learning, to stop overwhelm and frustration. 3 photography goals is all I recommend, and have them super targeted on 3 things that you want to achieve, okay? And they have to be things that you're passionate about, all right? That's super important as well when you set your goals. And when you know, and how do you know that you're ready to set some more goals? Obviously, when you've ticked those 3 things off, but those 3 things will start to happen automatically, or you'll like flow when you're in the field, and it'll feel like, you're just out there creating and taking in what Mother Nature's giving you, and it's becoming easy, okay, for those 3 things to happen. And that's how we know. That's how we know we've achieved our photography goals. All right, guys, before we get out of there, just one last thing. If you're looking for a photography coach, if you're looking for someone to personally help you on your photography journey, I have a community called Team 3CX. It's a landscape and nature photography community. I'm in there giving personal help and feedback, every day of the week to other photographers just like you. And they're also a great group of supportive people there. There's also a library of masterclasses that you can take on everything you need to know about landscape and nature photography. If you're interested to find out more, please pop your email below. There'll be a link. Pop your email in there, and I'll be in touch and let you know about that. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. Go out there, set your photography goals, and post them in the comments below if you want to share them. I'd love to see what they are. All right, this has been Johnny for 3 Colors, 3colors.co, and we'll talk to you again really, really soon. All the best. Love you guys. Peace.